I'm a legend. I'm a legend. I'm a legend.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Busted Lip Podcast. My name is Mark Pavlich, my dear friend and 8-time world WBC WA world boxing champion. Did I say blah, blah, blah? WBA boxing champion, the lovely Jelena Marjinovic, and our special guest today, everybody. Listen, think deeply now when you watch this guest today, everybody. You're going to have to get a pad and paper. You're going to have to write it all down. The one and only Britain's undefeated bouncer, Marcus Portman, on the Busted Lip Podcast.
How you doing? How you doing?
Awesome, buddy. We're super excited to have you on the show today. And literally when I was doing research on you and just studying, I study. Jelena does, she studies, we study, then we congregate, and then we start to say, okay, what can we do differently than every other interview you've ever been on before, Marcus? And that's the trick. The trick is to go to a different direction that anybody, listen, let's talk about, Repo Man, let's talk about, no.
Yeah.
Where is Marcus Portman going to go from here?
As in from today, I'm going to go to, it's rather either BKFC or Guerrilla Promotions, or hopefully Misfits. That's my journey. I'm not finished fighting, so I'm making a comeback, and that's exactly where I'm going.
See, that's what we want to know.
You've been off for a bit now, so how long have you been off again? I
retired 10 years ago, but I fought last year on a promotion local in Wolverhampton. I won that fight. Felt good.
What was it, a sanctioned bout or non-sanctioned?
It was non-sanctioned, yeah.
Okay.
Licensed kind of thing.
When I was looking it up on your box rec, I was like, oh, you've been retired for 10 years. So for me, we were like, oh, I'm making a comeback. I'm like, that's amazing. That's quite a feat to try and undertake. But yeah, you've been active a little bit.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I mean, I still spar like pros, active pros now. But yeah, the fight last year, I felt quite good. I felt like I had 70%, maybe 60%, if that I used to have before. That's why I'm still carrying on.
Yeah, sparring is much different than real fighting, right? Like when you get in there sanctioned or unsanctioned, it's still a bout, and that is much different than sparring. So
yeah, just the pressure. It's the same kind of concept. It was the same, same kind of lead up.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And then Misfits is huge over in the UK. Mark, you've heard of the Misfits boxing, right?
Yeah, because we've had many guests from Misfits on the podcast prior to you, Jay, and I think that's the perfect place, Marcus, right now in time for you, right? I think it's the road work. I think when you're out on doing your road work in England, you're close to Birmingham. Am I correct? You're close to Birmingham. Yeah. So when you're doing your road work and you're running down the street, you're like, oh, I'm going to fight Misfits, because you know as well as we do, if they put you with one of those YouTubers, you're going to splatter their fucking face all over the,
Yeah, exactly.
So we know that now. We've seen the Misfit thing. Why these YouTubers think that they can, minus the Jake Pauls of the world, but they literally think they can actually box. And unfortunately, even you out of the sport for 10 years, it's like, oh, perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I agree.
It is, and there's levels to this game, as you know.
Yeah.
And it was funny because just last month they did a Misfits show in the UK, right? It was a couple weeks,
That's
4 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And there was a guy from my gym in Florida that went. He's a BKFC fighter, and I was watching, and I was like, wow, there are definitely levels. And like, he won his fight, he stopped this guy. However, the boxing was hard to watch. As a professional boxer and a multiple-time world champion, it was very hard to watch. So I think you would excel exponentially in Misfits. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, you must have watched. Top of the bill was a guy called Ty Mitchell, and that's me and him have gone back and forth with each other on social media. And I called him out a couple of years ago. He's catapulted now. He's the main event every single time we switch now. So Ty Mitchell can actually box. He can actually
I
box.
know Ty. I know Ty.
Yeah.
He was in camp with Tyson Fury, and
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah.
working with him, so I know Ty, and he is quite a skilled boxer,
He
and
is, yeah.
he had his own issues, and I don't understand the British Boxing Board of Control. They're just ridiculous, and
They're strict, really strict.
that they're very strict, and that's another story. But yeah, you and Ty Mitchell would be a great bout.
Yeah,
I think that would
we're
be
still training for it now.
unbelievable.
We keep going back and
Yeah.
forth. We keep going back and forwards on social media, but I reckon he's gonna crack one time. He's gonna say, "Fucking come on, let's go."
Yeah,
Well,
I
you know
think
what,
that would,
Marcus, I saw you do. I saw you doing some touch boxing, and I'm a big fan of that. Like when you were sparring on Instagram, and it's a round after round. I used to train multiple guys that fought in the UFC, and we used
Yeah.
to do some very similar things to that. But the problem with it was people didn't realize it's like, okay, you're not actually hitting each other, but the movement and the movement and the movement and the comfortability of it all. And I watched you do it, and and not enough people understand what you were doing that day. And I was like, you know what, you could do 20 rounds like that every day of your life, and you would just become such a better fighter. And I watched you doing that, and I rarely see anybody doing that anymore. And that's an old school drill from back in the day.
You're right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back to basics. And sometimes, sparring's not everything. You got to respect for your other, sometimes they're friends, and you don't want to batter them, and don't want to get beat up all the time. So you just touch the shoulders, and it really is the same kind of endurance and tiring. It's you say you're not actually hitting them, but your concentration and your movements and stalking them around, getting into the right positions, it really good fitness. So yeah.
it's funny when I was over in the UK, they call that body sparring. Same idea.
Yeah, I've done body
Yeah.
sparring is what I mainly do as well. When you get a bit older, I think it's kind of wiser to do body sparring, just like the Brendan Ingle camp. I trained there a few times, and
They do a lot of. Mark, I had never heard of it before I went to the UK, and they're like, "We're gonna do some body sparring,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "What the fuck is body sparring?"
I love it. I love body
And
sparring.
And so I was watching it, and it was, what was great about it? It was everybody went with everybody. Like I went with
See,
Tyson.
that's why. That's why.
And
Jake,
we body sparred. There was 8 of us in the ring or 10 of us in the ring, and you stay in your own little circle and you work on your movements and adjustments and up and down. And it was, I literally had to watch for a round to be like, what am I doing here? Because I don't want to be the person that goes in and starts trying to take someone's head off. I'd be like,
exactly.
oh, you don't want to wear headgear? That's fine. I got you. No, it's not about that. So it was very funny. So touch sparring, body sparring, I've never they're different phrases, but they're all the same kind of thing.
Marcus, does the little green monster ever creep into your mind still after being sober for, I really was watching it, and like I said, I did experience that younger in my youth. And when I watched you talking about it, that little green monster came into my ear that when I was watching you talking about it. And it's funny I'm 58 years old, but I haven't been around that for 40 years. And it's funny when you were talking about it, how the little green monster is still on my shoulder talking to me. And I'm like, no, but do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the little green monster?
Just the green monster wants me to go back, and
Correct.
There's 2 people on your shoulders. There's the good side and the bad side, isn't there?
That's right.
To just try and battle that every day. It's less of a battle now, if I can be honest with you. I feel like I'm fully out the other side, and I can go into pubs, clubs still now. I don't really do it often, but without feeling any type of way, I don't miss anything. The first year or 2 was kind of tough. It was hard being isolated and not relevant in my circle with your friends and stuff like that. But you know what? I had a plan, and now my plan is to help others now. And my side of my battles kind of completed 90%.
Good.
Yeah.
I love that. Mark knows I'm a big believer in being 1% better every day. And, I'm a huge advocate of that, and it doesn't have to happen overnight. And every day is a battle in itself, whether you're dealing with addictions or depression or all of the things, just finding that 1% every day. And it sounds like you helping people is also helping you in return. And I love that.
It's funny you say 1% because I strive on doing 1% things in life. The title one, it's 1% people Marathon, probably 1% people do it. Being a national champion kickboxer, probably 1% of people do it. Coming out of addiction, the way I did without any organisations, probably 1% people make it. I strive on being 1%. So yeah, it's just that is my kind of aim in life, just to do something special and different in weird ways.
I like what you said though. You said 90, you're only 90%, right? And that's the real. That's what Marcus, that's what's making you different than what people thinking in their head, because you're saying 90%. You're not out here pounding your chest going, "Oh, I'm 100%. I'm cured. I'm cured." No. 90% is the correct, cuz I've been out for 40 years, but I'm only 98%. You know what I mean? Because if I'm in the wrong situation, and which I'm never am in the last 40 whatever years, but it's there. You know what I mean? It's there. So I'm glad you said what you said today, because people watching will understand. The people that are struggling with that will understand what that means, what you said today. Because most of the time, you get a guy who comes on and he says, "Oh, yeah, I'm cured." Like, you're not cured, man.
Yeah.
It's impossible to be
I
cured.
really truly understand myself, and I know what I'm capable
awesome.
of doing. It's not going back to that side, but it's just, when you're such an addiction, when you're doing it, the alcohol or the drugs every single day, which I did for 8 years non-stop, every single day, it takes a part of your soul away. And I think you'll never ever return that part of your soul. You're just trying to be the version after addiction, not the version you was before addiction. So you're always a version after addiction.
That's
You're never
awesome.
the same before. But I think I'm close to the person that I did when I first turned pro. Because when I first turned pro, I was like a little kid. Like, now I'm back into boxing again. I've missed it. Now I'm like, who can I fight now? I'm getting
Excited.
I'm enjoying it again now. So I'm kind of
That's
getting
awesome.
that buzz back now.
Well, and that's great. And I think, especially because of social media and the way boxing's kind of moved, where it is more viewable, it's more accessible. It isn't just the one-off fights every quarter that you see on TV now or listen to. Although UK boxing is massive and they have a ton of fights over there. But I think the fact that all of that is helping you strive towards getting that hunger back. I know even for me, like, I fight 2-3 times a year, and it's driving me nuts, because you're just like, I want to be in the gym. I want to be in there. Like, I'm missing out. And it's part of who you are. A small part, because boxing isn't your whole life. It can't be. You need to have that normalcy. So I love that you have that bug, because I talk to Mark about it all the time. They're like, "Oh, Jelena, when are you going to retire?" I'm like, I still have that bug and I still want to be in it. So I'm like, I have to stay active. I don't know how you're doing 10-year break or 9-year break and jumping back in.
It's because I've done all disciplines. I started off being a kickboxer, then was a boxer. Then after I retired from boxing, then I'd done physique bodybuilding. I'd done physique competitions, took PEDs. I admit it. People know I took PEDs to get on the stage, because it was easy. It was a level playing field. You had to won a competition, come second in that. So that's another thing. Probably 1% of people can get on stage and that's another 1% thing I've done as well. So I've just strived for these things. And then the Repo Man came along. I know we don't want to talk about that, but it kind of like, I've got so
No,
many.
you're allowed to, Marcus.
No.
You can talk about whatever you want.
Okay.
But you know what the funny part is? The funny part is, as we're going in this fantastic direction, it's like people always talk about, they're always asking you that question.
Yeah.
And I see greatness. Listen, I know talent. And I see greatness in you. So I see that, like, sure, we can talk about Repo Man. But the funny part about that is I'm like, I don't understand why, like, you're not into, like, I know maybe acting and this whole thing of your persona and how you're doing it. That's where I see you. I see, sure, misfit boxing, you're going to smack somebody around or whatever, enjoy yourself. But the end result is, I see you like in acting in England. You know what I mean? When Snatch 2 comes out, or you're the first person they call. You know what I'm saying? Brad Pitt calls you up and like,
That's
hey,
right.
Marcus, let's roll. And this is where I see your persona. Now, I could be wrong, but nights before shows, I can't sleep. I'm like studying. I'm putting things together. I'm like, no. I see you doing marathons, and I see you doing all these things. See, you know why you're doing marathons? Because you need time to think in peace, Marcus. That's what you are. You need peace. You find peace in running. I saw the way you run. You're comically relaxed. Like you're not struggling when you run. You're just like at peace. And that's what happens with people.
Therapy.
It is therapy, Jay.
Cold water,
And it's like,
I'm at peace as well.
yeah, there you go.
I do
Yeah,
wild,
yeah.
I do wild cold water exposure. I go into the woods and I start. That's therapy for me. But I can't believe you're right, because I actually have played a part in film once.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a guess what it was? I was a baddie. I was a bit of muscle. I was a bit of baddie with an MMA fighter, a local MMA fighter. So you are so correct with that, and maybe I will get opportunities in the future. So yeah, great.
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, the running is therapy. It's funny that you say that, because every time, even for me, when I'm having a bad day, I'm like, it's a sweat, but the running is easy. You put your sneakers on, get out the door, and it's just go. And I know Tyson Fury, I spent some time with him, and he runs every day. Every day the big man runs, and it's definitely that therapeutic aspect of all of that, for
certain
sure.
feeling at the end of a run, especially a long one, when you complete it like a 12, 13 miler, and it's just a certain feeling that you never get from anything else. I tried to match
Impossible.
They call it a runner's high.
Yeah.
So the runner's high, the endorphin release, and all of the serotonin levels. But that's what they call it, a runner's high.
Achievement.
So
it's just crazy. Like you feel like you've just taken on the world.
Yeah.
You could just put your bag on the floor and say, "That's it, me done for the whole day. I've actually done that run. I didn't need to do nothing else in my life."
You've accomplished something else.
Yeah,
It's
true, Marcus.
Something.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's great.
We used to do a charity here called Everest in Edmonton, where we used to hike 45 kilometers in the coldest time in the winter in Canada, and we would raise money for charity. And Jolina's the only other person that did it with us. Other people, all the tough guys in town, everybody's talking about, "Oh, we're going to come and do it with you." And I'm like, listen, this has about 80% to do mental, 20% physical. You do have to get ready for it. But when you're around the 30, 40 kilometer mark and, Jesus is talking to you, you literally are like, oh my God. Like, and Jelena did it with us one year. And I told people are like, she'll never make it. And I'm like, she'll make it or she'll die trying. Right. And she did make it. And I was like,
that 1%.
That 1%. People don't understand. Yeah. And I'm not athletic, but what I do have is something in my brain that doesn't give me the opportunity. My wife used to tell people, if he doesn't make it, he won't come back. Like, he just won't come back.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't care. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a tough guy, but I'm like, I don't, there's something about that. It's just like, I would just rather, he died trying. That would be on my gravestone. He died trying. And I have this strange suspicion, Marcus, that your mentality is very similar with a constant zen across it. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. I've got a certain way when I attack something. I just go from pillar to post, and I just strive and achieving. It's just what I do, and just trying to be great in your own way. Not for everybody to say you've done this and that. It's great, and just great in my own way. And this helping with addiction and being an addiction ambassador and helping so many others, that is so rewarding. It's I'm with the Frank Bruno Foundation. I help them as well. So I've ran for so many charities, and it's just, I just feel so rewarded doing it.
Giving back,
because we can't be selfish with athletes. You have to be to be a great athlete. Yourself. You got to be selfish. You got to be all about yourself. But
hold on. I've been trying to interrupt, Mark.
Jay, you got to say it.
We had Matt Brown on. He's a UFC veteran. He's unbelievable. And so I had said something about, he was asking about coaching, whatever the story was. And I was like, well, I'm too selfish with my time. And he's like, no, I'm going to stop you right now. He's like, it's not selfish. It's called being self-aware. And a light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, I have never thought of it like that. And that's what you need to think about too. And it changed my perspective on it. And I stop people when people say that they're selfish.
Yeah.
I stop people and I'm
That's
like,
why.
actually, it's self-aware.
Self-aware.
Because you
Oh,
know, you know what you need in your life to make you mentally, emotionally, physically sound. And that isn't being selfish. You are making yourself a better person for everybody around you, for society. So
Yeah.
it's being self-aware of what you need. And I will forever thank Matt for this, because it totally changed my perspective of that time where you almost feel guilty because you're like, am I being selfish?
But you
No,
should never
I'm
feel
just
guilty,
taking
yeah.
I'm taking care of myself. So it's self-aware. So Mark was going to interrupt you too, but I got to it
Well,
first.
I want you to always say it because you're the athlete, right? So it's like
It's-
you're the one that has to do that. But
It's being
it's a-
self-aware.
It is being self-aware when you really think about it, because if you're a person of your level, both of you, when you have to go sacrifice your time and effort for your own self, unfortunately, girlfriends, boyfriends, they're going to suffer. They don't understand it because they're not you. They can't understand what you're doing. They can't. It's impossible.
You have little niggles. You come back and you're like, oh, my elbows, I've got shoulder and pin. You're still talking about your stuff at home, and then they're like, looking and thinking, it's gone now. What? It's all about yourself, but it's not. You are so committed and so
Correct.
interested in the sport so much, and wanting to just get so much out your body. You actually talk to yourself with it, and sometimes you've got no one to share it with, because it's a lonely sport, boxing and
It
injuries.
is.
Especially when
It
you're having
is.
injuries. Having injuries is a lonely time, because you can't say to your mate, "Oh gosh, have you got this as well, mate? Shoulder impingement or got tennis elbow." They're like,
No clue.
"No, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
They don't do the
Yeah.
same
Well,
thing as what I do.
Well, and you want to know, it's very funny because you're right. Boxing is a lonely sport, and that circle, we're taught to just suck it up and deal with it. And like, if you have any issues like depression, addiction, pain, injuries, all those things, you keep it in. That's what you're taught to do. And really letting it out is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength that you could share those things with other
I tell
people.
people in a sauna, if I'm at the gym in a sauna, I'll say to a random person, "Hey, how's your elbow, mate? I've got an elbow." I try to have a conversation with them just to let it out, just so you can relate to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've told everybody. It's not a weakness, I just said.
No, it like it's a sign of strength being able to share what you go through. Like I was actually going to ask you, Marcus, when you went through a lot of your addictions or when you started, did you ever find it was like after fights or things like that? Like when I talked to Tyson about this, he's like, I'm all messed up because I'm super depressed and I'm bipolar and this and that. I was like, no, dude, like you're actually just a normal athlete. But what we get, I term it post-fight depression. So like
I
you
think
build
that's real,
so
Jay. You're right.
yeah, and like this is what I call it, is because you build so much to one event, and then when that event's over, everybody's gone, nobody's in your corner, you have no goal immediately. You have no goal, nothing to get you up in the morning and get you moving and excited and all those things. And so when I was talking to Tyson when he went with his bout of depression, I was like, dude, like, yes, you maybe have it on a higher level, but we all go through those things. So I was wondering, when I was doing my research, and was that maybe one of the things post fight, whatever, and not having those goals that pushed you to addiction? Like, because that's
Being the local hero, champ, you know what? When you
Yeah. 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 Interesting.
I had to create another version of myself. It's when you come into the pub. That's why I can relate to my mates. They can say,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
relate
Yeah.
to them, and I got
Yeah.
sucked
Yeah.
in.
yeah,
I really got sucked into
yeah.
their world. It's not their fault. I worked the
Yeah.
security for many years on the doors. I'd be given drinks, just to feel sociable. Then they'd say, "Come to the toilet, have one of these bungs in the toilet." I first tried it, and I thought, wow, I got so much energy, and like that dopamine spike was kind of similar to,
You're chasing the same high from
yeah,
fighting.
yeah.
So where I was going with this was, do you think that if people more openly talked about, like fighters,
There you go,
more
Jay.
openly talked about their feelings after fights and shared that you would be like, oh, maybe I'm not messed up. Maybe I'm just normal and going through what I'm supposed to go through. And
Correct.
it's different for fighters versus other athletes. If I have a shitty game in basketball, don't worry, I'm playing next week. It ain't no
Yeah.
big deal. I could
true.
change that.
It's true.
But with fighting, it's every 2-3 months, right? So you live with whatever it is, however that outcome came, and you live with that for 3 months. And we don't speak about the lows of boxing as fighters or combative sports, right? I mean, in general.
Rarely
And-
anybody does, Jay. Rarely anybody.
No,
No,
Yeah.
no.
no. And
No.
so do you feel maybe that if you had like resources for people to talk to after, that maybe your path would have been a little different? That, I guess, because always
Yeah, I think
I'm very fortunate that I have a very good network of friends and family that they kind of kick my ass. They give me a couple days. I always say, like, give me a week, give me a couple days, and then they'll totally kick my ass. They'll be like, all right, you're coming out, you're hanging out with us, come see my nieces and nephews, and they drag me out of that. And I'm
keep
very
you occupied,
fortunate.
keep your mind kind of occupied.
I'm very fortunate for my circle. But not everybody has what I have.
No.
So I've asked this a couple times, Mark knows. Do you feel, if it was more spoken about, that you would have had maybe a different path?
I think no matter how many people need to understand some people's journey, I think being a high sports person like yourself, you're so isolated from a lot of things for so many years. I think you've just been kept out the sweet shop for so long.
That's a great analogy.
And I think the amount of times you train, the amount of sparring you've done, the amount of effort you put into the ring, sacrifices, I really think it kind of like rewires you into somebody different. Because if I was just sitting now and like, if I was working in an office and you could talk to me now, I'd be a different person to what I was.
Sure.
My brain's been transformed into a fighter's brain. I think we're wired up different. I think there's always that fighters. They're not normal. I don't think we're ever normal.
No.
To do what?
No,
normal.
Mark's heard me say that many times.
It's
I'm
not
like, we're all fucked up.
No,
We're all fucked
if you
up.
guys all were in a room together, you would all be normal. Like when Julina goes to the WBC convention every year, she's around the other lunatics like her. And so she basically,
And they're my friends.
and they're her friends. And then she could come back into the real world and then be kind of normal. But it's literally, you guys are different. And I mean that in the most respectful, coolest way ever, because once again, you're in this percentage of people that are very different than the norm. It's just not normal. You guys didn't take up tennis. You took up
but
like
Mark,
combative sport. Yeah.
See, I have this discussion, not argument, with people, because what is normal? Because I think I'm pretty normal. I think Marcus is normal. So what is
I
normal?
promise you both are not.
The reason why
No,
And that's a good thing, Jay.
But Mark, hold on.
That's a good thing.
Your definition of normal is different than my definition. It's just a fucking word.
Yeah.
This
Jay,
is
read
the
my-
thing.
Jay, read my coffee mug, okay? Never forget it.
I know.
There's a reason for that, because
I know,
I'm the
but
one
what
that
I'm
pays
saying
attention.
is, I know, Mark, but what I'm saying is, normal is just a word, right? So everybody's perception of this word is different. So my normal is not the same
Webster
as my
Dictionary.
sister's
Webster
normal.
Dictionary, I know, but the Webster, what I'm saying is, on the grand scheme
I
of
actually
things.
want to know it. I actually
Listen,
want to know what
you can
the
look that up
definition is
later.
right now.
But listen, when I'm telling you something, when I see, you have to study. You see, when you're self-centered, Both of you are self-centered in the fact of you have to be that way for your sport. I unfortunately have a great deal of compassion and empathy for people, Jay, which people don't know that. But when I'm watching certain things in life with you or Marcus, I see certain things that you guys do that regular people don't do. Now, I'm not
What's
saying
regular?
well, I'm just saying the the effort to do things and to be able to be able to go to training camp like you do for 6-7 weeks at a time and detach yourself from the rest of the world. 95% of people can't do that. They can't.
Marcus, do you think that's normal? Marcus, do you think that's normal?
Now I'm retired. I think no, it's not normal. Oh, I feel
Whatever. I thought you were on my team, and
Yeah.
you're not retired. You
He
said you
is
were
on your
coming
team.
back.
He is on your team, but he's saying now that he's back into reality,
Yeah,
because he's back into yeah.
It's because I've jumped back
kidding.
into reality, and now I'm wanting to jump back into abnormal. So I think I prefer
Crazy.
I prefer the abnormal because it keeps me
See.
alive.
See,
That doesn't keep me alive. It makes me depressed, and I've got no purpose. Getting back into fighting, it makes gives me goosebumps, and just being punched in the face and having
Because-
been in
Listen,
competition.
because you felt that adrenaline high. You're chasing that adrenaline high. That's what it is.
I think the more upset when I've taken alcohol and drugs with people who are similar position to me. When I say they're not normal, they're not normal. They don't come back for 3 days, 4 days. They go off the radar. I went off I didn't used to come back home. Friends of mine, fighters who do the same thing, they go on a session and they won't come back. They're just like the wired up difference.
they detach.
Yeah.
It's a detachment
Yeah.
from it's a detachment from the
Yeah.
real world. And listen,
Escape.
there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing.
It's a massive escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think it's awesome that you can have that mentality to do that and just detach. And listen, Jay, why aren't you married?
Because no, this is it. Because
Because of it.
all of-
Watch, I'm not putting
I'll
you down.
tell you.
Well,
It's because all the
aesthetically-
guys around here are deadbeats. First of all,
Sure.
no, I shouldn't say deadbeats. That is harsh.
there
That
goes
is
our
harsh.
viewership right out the door. You just-
I apologize. It's not deadbeats. You know what? I intimidate a lot of people because
Correct. Correct.
my normal life is different than their normal
Yes,
life.
Jay. And it's the same with Marcus. I don't know your relationship status, Marcus, but it is very difficult for a person like yourself because you have a different look of life. You want to go run. You want to go do this. You want to go speak. You don't want to ask anybody to do that. Like, that's a problem. Unless someone understands you and says, Marcus, I really get you. Accepting person.
That's it. Understanding me. All the rest of the partners have thought I was different, a bit strange. They thought I got bipolar, ADHD. I don't know, a bit autistic, all in one, because of the way I am, I act, and it's not strange. It's just sometimes they can't believe the things you want to do. You just want to. I'll sit here and I just want to go out for like a 10-mile run. I come back and they're watching like the soaps on the TV, like Coronation Street, and they're like, I'll just randomly go. What? I'm like, this is not right. I'm like, this is to me. It's not. It's normal. It's yeah.
It's normal. It's normal. I think
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Jay, when people watch this episode, this is only thing they're gonna think about is this coffee cup of mine that says that. Because you know why? Because everybody's right in this conversation, meaning like, because you're in that percentage of people that everybody watching this is going to go, oh, Marcus and Jelena are right. The other 98% of the normal people in the world are going to go, Mark's right, but Jolene just doesn't understand it. She thinks I'm putting you guys down. I'm not. In fact, I'm promoting you guys into the fact that you're a rare commodity in this world. Hey, listen, if a war breaks out, I want you two on my side. You know what I'm saying?
Damn rights you do. I'll come in that bunker with you.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Jay, I already knew. Listen, all the tough guys in this city, all the guys from the boxing gym, everybody in the world was saying, oh, I'm going to come on you to do the 45-kilometer thing at 20 below zero. 20 below zero. You're the only lunatic that said you'd come, and you did it. The rest of the people didn't.
Train.
All the guys, all these tough guys said, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. None of them came, Jay, because they know that this is not for the faint of heart, and the mentality is only in the percentage of people like yourselves. And there's nothing correct, and there's nothing. And there's nothing wrong with it. When people walk around and go, with these t-shirts on and say whatever they say, you guys don't have to wear the t-shirt. It's just how it is.
I do. You want to know what t-shirt I say? I wear all the time, and it says, don't be shitty. And it is my favorite t-shirt. And it's my favorite quote. I told him,
Don't be shitty. I like it.
don't be shitty. So I have a shirt because I had a gym, and my sisters looked at me, and they were like, I made this shirt and I branded it with my gym, and it said, don't be shitty. And they're like, you can't sell that. And I was like, why not? I think it's appropriate. I totally, like, if you looked at that shirt and you looked in the mirror every day and it said, don't be shitty, what are you going to be? Not shitty.
Shitty,
And
yeah.
so my sisters literally they lost it on me. They're like, well, don't print a lot of it because I don't think it'll sell. You want to know how fast those didn't even last a day? I had to reorder 3 times.
Don't be shitty.
Everybody walks around with "Don't be shitty" shirts on, and
Just get one
I
off of them. I need to
fucking
get one off
love
of
it.
Yeah,
I
Order one.
got them. I
Yeah,
got them. I got them.
You
Yeah.
it's so funny. That's
postage for UK.
Yeah.
Postage for UK. I'll hook you up.
I'll post it when I'm there next in 10 days.
yeah. You're going there, right, Jay? Aren't you going?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You're going in.
Yeah.
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 You know, I was going to ask you this question because not that I'm a serial killer watcher, but I know you were in jail in 2007, Winston Green Prison,
Yeah.
and there was multiple serial killers in that jail when you were there, and Ozzy Osbourne, and they've all been to that same jail.
Ozzy was there when
West, I think Fred West. Yeah.
Fred West was there when you were there. Ozzy was not there when you were there.
Okay.
And when this is that deep dive shit. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
I'm looking for stuff, and literally, do you not agree that every human being should go to prison at least for a few days just to understand the protocol of life in general, Marcus?
Funny you should say that because I always wanted to go there, not because of crime, just to see what it's like and see if I could handle it and what it's like on the outside and what it feels like. Is it what people say it's like? And I was always intrigued. But when I went in there, it wasn't planned. I was on remand in Winson Green. Yeah, it's probably one of the oldest prisons in the world, so I've been told.
That's right.
Yeah. And I was on remand. I just signed a contract with Richie Woodall, former WBC champion. And yes, and I got remanded for witness intimidation. All I did was just done a hand sign to somebody like that. That was it. I didn't mean that I was going to shoot you. That's not what I do. But it was just something stupid. You're going to get it. And had the door kicked off. I got remanded. And yeah, got refused bail because of the seriousness of it. And all through that time, I had that WBF shot, knowing that I had that total shot. So I was running around the courtyard. It was 23-hour bang up. I was running around the courtyard in the 1 hour association, and just everyone was thinking, "What's that weirdo doing?" Yeah, just running around non-stop. But I had to get my cardio in. I was thinking, "How long? I'll be out next week." I wasn't out for 12 weeks. 3 months it was. It's seemed like the longest. And when you've just got like a fight lined up, I come out on tag, and I was in my gym on tag, doing sparring.
It's a dump, eh? The prison though, it's a shithole.
Oh, there was cockroaches. There was cockroaches every single night. I'd try and get sleep, and they'd hear like feet. Like it's like my dog's on the floor now. Like I've got laminate flooring, marble flooring.
Yeah.
And I thought, my pad mate would get up. My pad mate was a big drug dealer. He was. I was padded up with him. He'd get the slipper out. He'd go bang, and he'd whack these cockroaches. And it would be all right. Like thinking he's been there for a year. He said it's all right, mate. There's nothing. I'm like, what the fuck am I? Where the hell am I? There's cockroaches. I'm not used to this. There's holes in the windows. Yeah, there's.
Did it give you more appreciation for everything once you got out? Like,
as in the gym?
No, just in life in general.
Once you got out.
Oh my God! As soon as I walked out of them doors, them electric doors, and it was blazing sun. It was about July, I think it was. I never felt so good in my life. The freedom was like I never appreciated freedom like it, and I said, I'd never ever want to come here again. And I don't know how the hell people come out and say that was easy, and I don't mind going back in there. It was horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. I hated it. I'm not going to be trying to be hard or whatever. I say to everybody,
No, it's dog shit. Yeah, it's terrible.
it's terrible. I hate every single second of it. Just keys. I couldn't get the sound of the keys out of my mind because keys are all day and all night. You try to get sleep and they're rattling the keys opening doors. I think they do it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm
For
sure.
sure
I'm,
they
I'm
are.
sure they do. They want a
So
little torture, not a little torture to go along with your
it
son.
is.
You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Yeah.
It learned me anyway.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be all right.
What's the end game, Marcus? What's the end game? What's the end game for you?
The end game is to try and be a mentor or counsellor, whether it's to do with addiction or just life in general. Just bring up the new generation. Just play my part really, and trying to educate. But qualifications part, I probably struggle with qualification parts. But there's got to be a place for me where they're you know what, you don't need it as much, and it's just about what you know and what you've done in the past, not what you can.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think what's great is that you have such a great story because you've had so many experiences, you've lived so many lives, right? And you could be such a great mentor for these kids who, and you see it all the time in boxing gyms. You get all the troubled youth that, I my gym still to this day is a it's a
Haven.
non for profit. It's
Yeah.
a center. It's obviously not in a great area, but
It is not.
I still go down there because I feel like if I can change one kid, maybe once a month or whatever, if I can change the perspective of one kid, then I'm doing my job as a mentor. And so I think that is such a fabulous role for you because you have so much experience that you can share, like, hey man, this is what I went through and I do not recommend it. I can't say I've never been to jail. I'd be like, hey man, don't go to jail, it's bad for
Yeah.
you. I've never been there. I can't relate, right? Whereas you can relate on so many different levels for these kids to be such an amazing mentor. So I love that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully, it materializes, and after hopefully the guerrilla promotions, the Misfits. If I do get on there, hopefully that'll be my plan, just to
I think we can help.
get to normality.
I think we can help. I think we can help. Listen, you know what the funny part is? That we've had so many guests on from Misfits, and I know that everybody watches our podcast. Like, we're not a fighting podcast, but we've had guys from the NFL, NHL, UFC, boxing, you name it. But the crazy part is that there's something about the Busted Lip podcast that sometimes the weirdest things happen after people are on our podcast. And the crazy part is because we will not stop. You'll see this podcast when you have like 9 children. You'll be like, that thing's still on? It's like, because we have this kind of gift about keeping it in the universe long enough where one day you're doing something and you'll think about us maybe one day again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think what's great about it is, and I've seen this happen a few times, is if you speak it into the universe, and because I keep telling Mark this lately, because I keep talking about stuff and then things just happen to me. But I think if you speak it into the universe, and it's like the affirmation thing that some of these people have wrote books on, whatever. But I think if you keep speaking it, you will live it and you will believe it, and then it will come into fruition if it's meant to be for you.
Definitely.
And I'm definitely a big believer, Mark knows this, that everything happens for a reason. And so that reason might not seem like it's the best thing right now in your life, losing someone, going to jail, losing fights, all of those things. I am a big believer that it's part of your path, part of your journey. And you've been on this journey because it's going to fulfill you in your future. And so all of your trials and tribulations are fulfilling you to be this amazing version of yourself and that 1% better down the road. And so, I think it's part of your journey and part of your path. And I love that you want to give back. And I love that you're going to fight on the Misfits show and bang some people out and all of these things. Like, we're just going to speak it in that it's going to happen because it is. Like, and I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later, right, Mark?
Me too. Yeah. Yeah, I do too, because see, I have the ability to tag Misfits Boxing and everyone that fights for them and all our posts. And then they're like, why is Mark the lunatic tagging us for? Who's he talking about today? And I'm talking about Marcus Portman, everybody. And I when I talk about it, it's different, right? Because I have a promotion background, and it's different because I won't talk about you if I don't believe in you. But see, there's two or three things you said today. I'm only 90%. I love that. And the other thing you said was, which if people are listening, I didn't like prison. I didn't, you are a tough guy that said, I hated it. It's not for me. It's not cool. It's not something I like. And you said that today on the podcast. No, you could have came on here and flexed your muscles and said, yeah, I'm a badass. I chop people up and I do, no. That's not what we're talking about here today. Jillian's laughing for a different reason. But literally, you didn't come across with that persona. And that's what I love. See, that's what we don't know about Marcus before coming on the show. We don't know that you are who you are like this. And this is what we found out today. That growing up where you grew up, coming through what you came through, coming out the other side of it all, and here we are today. And you know what the funny part? And now giving back. And the crazy part is the final episode hasn't been written yet.
And you're right. This is a different kind of podcast to the rest of the others I've done. So you're right. This is definitely a different one, and I will take a part of this and story, and and it will definitely be thought about for many years because it feels different. This podcast feels different. You know what? Just congratulations the way you executed.
When you fight next, my dear friend Marcus, you know what's going to happen? Jolene and I are going to get our popcorn out together.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be. You have never seen two lunatics in your entire life watch a fight when you're fighting. We will be screaming and grabbing the television. Okay, we will be yelling. My head will hit the drywall. You know what I mean? Like we are Like this is the lunacy that we possess. But the crazy part is, this is the part that I love about having guests on the show, because what happens is I wake up the next day and I think about you and how I can. Listen, how I can pray to my God that you achieve everything. And there's only one God, so it's my God. And literally, thank you, Jelena. And what I mean by that is I now put Marcus in my prayers, and because you want to talk about, envisioning this, envision that. I'm not a big believer of that. I'm a big believer in faith. And when I see you, I will think about you and say, just push him that way. Just push him that way. You'll get there, but it'll be pushed that way. And listen, it'll find you, and then you'll just walk into it, and you might be 10 years out, but that old feeling never change. That won't change for you.
If it's that long, it is. But the story still continues, and it's always. Chapter.
And I talk a lot of shit, but one of the things I always say, I say a lot of things.
A lot of shit.
One of the big things I believe in is writing your own story your own way.
I love it.
So I've said that, like, it was on my wall at my gym of inspirational quotes, and my big thing is write your own story. Don't listen to what everybody else says. And Mark knows this about me. I stopped giving a fuck what people thought when I was 20. Like I don't care what people think about me. And it is the freest way to live. And I experienced it after, and I heard you talk in another podcast after I had lost. It was my first professional fight I lost. It was not it was my 10th professional fight. But I had to sit there and listen to disappointment, people talking shit about you, stabbing you in the back and all this stuff. And at that very moment, I stopped giving a fuck what people thought about me. And it has been the most freeing moments of my entire life. And I'm glad I went through what I went through when I did.
It's hard. It's a great thing to possess, but it's hard. A fair play to you.
It was a hard process to go through. But Mark knows this, because Mark will say something to me. I was like, Mark, why do you give a fuck? Like, who cares what they think?
Still do, Marcus. So at 58 years old, I've been on my own since I've been 15, and I do care. So which is great. But when I say that to you is I want to hold myself to that standard, meaning like in my brain, I don't want to. I want to conduct myself in a way where not just my family's proud of me, but everybody around me, my inner circle is proud of me. Like some random person talking shit I don't care about. But what I am talking about is my inner circle and the people and anybody that's associated with me. I don't embarrass them in any way. That's all I'm saying.
So and I don't want to be misinterpreted here, not that you are, Mark, but like my thing is if I can look at myself in the mirror and be proud of who I am, then why do I care what other people think?
Sure.
Because I'm not trying to impress anybody else.
Yes.
Obviously my close circle, I don't want to disappoint them. I'm saying, so one of the things is writing your own story and not giving a fuck what people think your story is. That's where I was going with all of that.
And that makes sense. And Marcus, listen, I want you to please leave us with something today that, you can tell our viewership literally like from where you started from to where you're ending up. And literally what is the kind of the driving force behind it all?
The driving force, it's back to the 1%. I just love being in the 1% club and staying in recovery now is staying in the 1% club, and I'm not going to go back out of it again. It's just, you know what? If there's another 1% thing, what is in the pipeline, it's just going to spur me on, and that's probably. I think there's one more last achievements really. I don't know what it is, but I can just sense it coming along, and yeah, it's there to be written. Whether it's next week, whether it's next year or 10 years down the line, it's going to be fulfill me, and I'm going to be complete then. And yeah, I'm just going to keep striving, mate. Keep striving, be myself, trying to be like you guys, and not trying to grab validation from too far out, because I do try to do that sometimes. I struggle with that. I try to get validation on too far out, and I've got standards, and you want to impress everybody. 10 people can say that I'm doing good, and one person can say that I'm doing bad, and I still care about the one person.
Yeah.
It's now, Julina, you probably don't do that, but I'm trying to
No,
work.
I did. No, I did for a very long time, and I struggled. I struggled with anxiety. I struggled with, finding that inner peace. So I can understand where you're coming from, and this is why I shared that story about like not giving a fuck about those people, because I did for a long time, and I ran myself ragged. And if I could share this with you, and it was a struggle to get over that, and the minute I did, I became so much better version of myself.
Yeah.
And a better friend, a better sister, a better daughter. Like I just became a better person because I wasn't stretching myself thin. So I hope you find that.
This is where 90% came at the start, because there's still percentages I still need to work on, and they're difficult. Like there's one, but I'll get there. This is 3 years. 3 years into sobriety now. So.
It's a shift in mentality, Marcus. It really, like, it's all of a sudden, like, someone's going to say something to you one day, and you're just going to be like, you know what? Fuck you. And then you're just going to shift your mentality, because that's what it was for me. Because I was exactly like that, striving for validation from everywhere. And I was like, why? Like, how many people can get in the ring and do what you've done?
Not a lot.
1%.
Yeah.
Why do you
You're
care?
on a different level. Yeah.
Why do you care what these other people who are sitting, keyboard cowboys is what I call them, sitting behind their laptop, posting away, when they're sitting there eating their hot dog, dripping down their fat belly and whatever? Like, why do you care when you're that 1% and they ain't getting in there?
Yeah.
So who gives a fuck what they think?
Well,
My
Marcus,
social media is growing now. My social media platform's growing. I know people, social media agents who tell me this, and they educate me and say, just stay in your lane, keep doing what you're doing.
Stay in your lane. Yeah.
Don't stay outside and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that your social media, especially your Instagram and your TikTok's growing now too.
Yeah.
So both of them will make sure that everybody knows where to find you on all your social media platforms, that people that watch us in the United States and in Canada, so that you start to grow bigger in those forums. And as well, Misfit Boxing, you're going to have a new star on your hands. The Phoenix is risen in England, and he's coming, and I can't wait, because it's going to be super exciting to watch. Everybody, we just want to thank our fantastic guest today, Marcus Portman. We want you to we want you to follow him on all social media platforms. We'll make sure it's all there. We can't thank you enough, Marcus, for being on the show today. And listen, bro, keep
Thank
doing
you.
what
Thank
you're
you for
doing.
having me.
Love it. Love
Thank
it.
you
We
for having me.
appreciate you. So thank you for
Thank you,
spending time
Marcus.
with us.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care. See you guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You can't
You
slow.
can
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't slow.
That's all.
Marcus just
Yeah,
close it
you,
out
yeah,
and
you
then
just close it out. It's okay.
Why do I do this?
Yeah, it's the internet. It's the
You just
internet.
meant the leave it there.
Yeah. Just shut it. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, you're
No.
still.
It's like the hang up button, like the leave button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just leave it open. Yeah. There we go, everybody. Marcus Portman on the Bust to Live podcast, Jay.
Yeah, Marcus was interesting. Like dealing with a lot of the things he's dealt with and coming out the other side. And I love that. Excuse me, I just got a frog in my throat. I love that he's trying to give back and share his story. I think he's going to be an amazing mentor for
Very different.
young kids.
Very different than I thought.
Yeah,
In a good way.
yes, but I love
Yeah.
the mentality of
Yes.
him giving back, because I do think, you know, you and I've told you this a bunch of times about how I still go to the gym, you know,
Yes.
in the troubled areas, so I can maybe run into a kid to help him. I can't
That's awesome.
relate to a lot of the stories,
Of
right?
course.
But Marcus can actually firsthand experience and be such a good role model for
I
those
totally
kids.
agree.
So I totally love that for him.
Well,
Yeah, he was a-
everybody,
he was a
I
great
want
guy.
to thank our great advertisers at Crystal Glass Canada, Crystal Glass for all your glass needs, and the lovely Jelena Marjinovic, 8-time world boxing champion, and myself. Tune in every Tuesday, everybody, on the Busted Lip podcast, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, 5 Mountain Time, to watch a new episode from people from the NHL, UFC, boxing, and extreme sports. We'll see you next time.